Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, pretty much everyone has this hunger for freedom, and this hunger for freedom is coming from the place of experience, the experience of struggle, the experience of pain, fear, etc. Life has its own way to send us the message to align with the true reality. And our struggle and pain, you know, is the message coming towards us. Hey, something is not right. You got to step back and figure it out. The message is there, and we are trying to listen to the message and do the work to be free. But most of the time, the work we are putting in to be free is actually entangling further, deeper in the conflict rather than resolving the conflict, isn't it? Especially when we are talking about the spiritual freedom, that freedom is about dissolving the mind. And what we're trying to do right now to dissolve the mind is upgrading the mind, from one conditioning to another conditioning. We're shifting. And that kind of movement only works to a certain extent, and after that it won't, and we are back in the same struggle, same stressful world, the mental world. Now, when we are going through this struggle, when nothing is working, to overcome the inner issue and the outer issue, we look for someone who can guide us in this journey, as a guru, as a teacher. We seek for the guru or teacher because we have this idea that, guru is the person who can guide us from the darkness to the light. So this idea is there. And when we meet, we naturally respect this person. We associate with the person. And tendency is we do too much in a way that we give up the power of discernment and follow the person blindly. Following to some extent and receiving the reference that is pointing towards the truth is necessary. But following the person blindly is, the good intention turning the situation not good. When you follow the person blindly on the spiritual path, what's happening is you are following his life or her life, his ideology. The real path is not about that at all. And imagine if the person you're following is not even there, is not truth realized, then what are you getting? What kind of information are you getting to make yourself free? You're simply ingraining yourself in someone's make-believe. So you are already struggling, you're putting effort to be free, now you're in another, you're just adding another struggle in your life. That's why it's very important to have this power of discernment in oneself. That button needs to be switched on all the time when we are in the spiritual path, especially in the spiritual path. Yes, we need that switch to be on in the relative functioning world as well, but especially when we are in the spiritual journey, we gotta be aware. The awareness is the way to see what works and what doesn't. So we can catch ourselves in the process. And, this blind faith is the way to put someone on the pedestal. And that's where the guru is taking advantage of the seekers. That's where, the person builds up the ego from that, movement. That's where the abuse, that's where the manipulation, that's where the person take advantage of the, people, the seeker. That's where the person take advantage of you when you follow the person blindly. This is where the cult starts to emerge. And you have heard, a lot about the cult. Cult is a place of an ego trip of the person who is on the top. He's in the ego trip, or she, and a person who is aligning with this person is full on ego trip, associating with this thinking about the spirituality, but the journey has not even, begun. So it's the place of fun, probably, but not the freedom. So we gotta, be realistic. And in the first place, the spirituality is never a group project. It's never a group project. The real spirituality is a lonely journey. It's an inward, backward journey on dismantling the mind. Dismantling the mind, it means dismantling the ego, so so the truth can be revealed within, so we can see the truth within. So in the beginning, there is an association with the guru, and after that, after getting the reference on how to be part of the journey, then it's all about being part of oneself. It's not about the group, it's about you. Your mind is creating so much struggle in your life. Now it's the time to work on the mind in dissolving the mind, which is the tracing back the mind to its root and eliminating the root altogether. So when we take this step in dissolving, we are, not allowing the world to manipulate. We are not allowing the world to take advantage of you. And everybody needs to do the same thing. Yes, there is a need for teacher to get the reference. Nowadays, you don't even need to meet the teacher in person. There is a simple, message available. Just like this, I'm talking about the path. You hear the path. You work on the path by following this simple instruction. Witness yourself, dismantle your belief, and ask yourself, who am I? This is the 3 steps you need to maintain. And another few references, truth is not an idea. It exists, but it's not idea. Or truth is unchanging. So this kind of reference is needed, but not blindly following someone. So the hunger for freedom is there, but don't associate it with the buffet that you see in the spiritual world, buffet of spirituality. That buffet is simply a distraction, distracting you from your real inward journey. It's simple, it's straightforward. It's about turning the awareness back to yourself and working on yourself in dissolving the mind, which is tracing back the mind. That's all. So, from my side, this is the journey that saved me from all the unnecessary spiritual work. There definitely, there are good reference in the world to be part of the real spiritual path. But 99% of the spiritual work that we see in the world is simply making you not to look for the truth. Spirituality is this path that is a trial and error. From our trial and error, we end up coming back to the practice of who am I? The practice of dismantling the mind. We come back to this. So, you might not associate with what I'm saying because you are right now entertaining yourself with a lot of spiritual practices that you are associating with. So enjoy that. But also be mindful. Is it working to overcome your inner conflict and fear? Is it making you free? Free from the fear, especially free from the fear. And there's a lot of fears in everyone's life. Fear of something, ultimately the fear of death. Right? Fear of, being nobody. So, if that is resolved from your spirituality, great. But tendency is it will not. So when you see it's not working, finally you have to come back to the final work, which is self-inquiry. And that is the way to, dissolve the hunger, the spiritual hunger in oneself. And that can be done through self-inquiry by seeing the truth. And by the way, you are the truth. Your nature is the truth. And right now you don't see that is because all the layers you have accumulated in your life so far, and that is the ingrained pattern, conditioning, preference, belief in you. And we gotta, dissolve those layers. And when everything is dissolved, what is left is you. So, if you think what we're seeking is always you, what you have been seeking is always you. We just go round and round everywhere to figure out the truth, while the truth is waiting for you within you. Anyway, hope this video makes sense to some extent. Trace your mind backward, and that's the way to be free. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Take care for now. Bye.